to California Live. You know, last week we spoke to Nurse Barb regarding all the questions surrounding COVID and the Delta variant. Well, right now we're going to check back with her as she has an update for us on vaccinations.
When my patients come in for their annual exam, of course, we're talking a lot about COVID. And one thing that comes up all the time is a lot of patients have been vaccinated, but they have family members who haven't been, and they feel like their children, their grandchildren are at risk from being around people who have not been vaccinated. And so they're asking for strategies about how to help people go from being vaccine hesitant to more vaccine willing. When people ask me about vaccination and wearing masks, I think about it like a football game. So in any football team, you have to have a really good defense, which is wearing masks, washing your hands, and keeping social distance. But you also need a good offense if you're going to win the game, right? And a good offense means vaccination, because vaccinations work against the COVID virus, and they work against the Delta variant. It can be really frustrating if you have a different view about vaccination and COVID than family members or people that you care about. But there's 3 important points to remember. Number 1, don't shame or blame, and use your 2 ears and 1 mouth to listen twice as much as you talk. So you want to find out what are their issues and then validate them. I mean, after all, this is a new vaccine and we are learning a lot. Number 2, do find a trusted healthcare provider. We know that people trust their obstetricians who help deliver their baby, or their pediatrician that's helped their children stay safe. So look for a trusted medical professional for that person to talk to. And number 3, talk to someone who's had a personal experience with COVID or who has a loved one with COVID. Now, for my patients, what really works is when I talk to them about my own son. The vaccine was safe enough for me, but I recommended it for the person I love most in the world. That's my son. When patients say to me, well, if you trust it enough for your son, then it must be safe for you, for him, and for me. It's very normal and natural to think about how do we keep our families safe. And so a lot of families are having very difficult conversations about whether or not to have people who are unvaccinated come into their home or come for outdoor events. Every family will deal with this differently. What I can tell you is this: if you're going to be indoors and you're with anyone who's been unvaccinated, you need to wear a mask. If you're going to be outside and there's some social distance, then keep at least 6 feet between yourself and someone who's unvaccinated. But many families are saying, sorry, we're only inviting people who have been vaccinated, and if you haven't been vaccinated, be prepared to wear a mask. That's okay, because your job is to keep yourself and your family safe. So what else can you do if someone's really hesitant and really doesn't want to be vaccinated? You can talk to them about how much you love them, how you don't want them to get sick, and then you can talk about the vulnerable people, not only in your family, but in your community. Because right now, we're not vaccinating children under the age of 12. But if more of us get vaccinated, we'll have less COVID that could possibly infect those children. Now, you may have heard that COVID really only affects people over 50, but COVID causes serious illness in people of all ages. So if you're concerned about your community, then do get vaccinated. So when it comes to COVID and the Delta variant, take care of yourself, take care of your family. If you're around people and you're not sure about their vaccination status, do wear a mask. And remember, if we all get vaccinated, we're protecting the most vulnerable children in our community.